Hey friend, Carolyn Clausen here. I live in Winnipeg, and last night I was standing, I was pacing, I was yelling at the television along with hundreds of thousands of other Winnipeggers during this deciding game of the series between the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues. And there was a moment yesterday when, with just a few seconds left in regular play, that the tying goal was scored by the Winnipeg Jets. There were four of us in the room, just leapt up and jumped up and down in surprise and delight, something we did not think would happen, and when it happened we were so excited. My son and husband began running around the room, and my son, an adult who is not a huggy kind of person, he grabbed my husband in this huge bear hug. When we laughed later about the unexpected hug as we were waiting during the intermission for the first playoff period, he said, "I just wasn't even in control of my body. My body just did what it did." There's this concept in sociology from Émile Durkheim. It's called collective effervescence. It describes that electric, almost sacred feeling that arises when a group of people come together, united by shared purpose, emotion, or celebration. It's that feeling at a concert when the whole crowd belts out the chorus together. It's the goosebumps during a vigil. And yep, it's what we felt in Winnipeg yesterday when the Jets clinched Game 7 against the St. Louis Blues. If you were anywhere near downtown last night, you know what I mean. The roar outside Canada Life Centre wasn't just noise. It was relief, joy, hope, connection, all rolled into a single roaring yes. There were strangers high-fiving. Kids were on shoulders cheering. There was a sea of white pulsing together like a heartbeat. Inside the arena for sure, and also outside at the street party. We were driving home from my son's last night through downtown, and we could just see people on the sidewalks. They were looking at each other. They were celebrating together. You could see them walking down the streets with like skips and hippity hops. People were feeling safe in our city late at night. Most were wearing white as part of this whiteout. And for that brief moment, we weren't just individuals. We were a city together. And it means a lot to us when you remember the long, hard road that we've walked with this team. Since their return in 2011, the Jets have struggled to get deep into the playoffs, hope flickering bright some seasons, only to fade too soon. And beneath it all, still lodged in our hearts, is the sting of 1996. I remember taking my son, who was just a couple months old, in a little white sleeper to the final Jets game. When we lost the Jets that first time, it wasn't just a hockey team that left. It felt like part of our identity was gone. The grief of that loss doesn't just vanish, which is why every win now feels like a kind of healing, yesterday included. And let's be honest, Winnipeg, we needed this. After yet another long, bone-deep, bone-chilling winter, the looming threat of U.S. tariffs on Canadian exports, ongoing political tensions both at home and abroad, and lingering emotional toll of post-pandemic stress, joy has just felt in short supply. It's so easy these days to bond over outrage, where we're doom scrolling and division. Those are like cheap currency. But there's something far more powerful, far more human, something that feels so right in coming together over hope, over this pride we have, over the sheer, unfiltered joy of a win. It felt good to celebrate something instead of together hating someone. That's the kind of community energy that, I'll tell you, it's lifted our city's soul. Durkheim knew what he was talking about. When we come together, cheering, singing, feeling, we remember that we belong to something bigger. And in a time when loneliness and division are often the norm, the feeling of belonging, it's not just nice or a kind of a good thing, it's vital. So whether you were at the game, watching from home, or just honking your horn on Portage, you are a part of something meaningful. Here's to the winds that remind us we are not alone. Here's to collective effervescence, Winnipeg style.